you pause and start?
Yes, I can.
Oh, okay.
We're recording, and I do have a stop and pause button. So,
is the recording on Zoom, or is this like another device you're using to record?
It's on my computer.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
It's like the screencasting.
Yeah.
I see the recording button.
Yeah, me too.
It's recording right now. So, Shawnee, if you want to start with your intro.
Okay, so I would start with a definition on nonviolence communication, and then I would want to tie in the Rosenberg video as far as the giraffe versus the jackal interactions, and then I would say, let's take a look at example A, where this is what's taking place in pointing out the positive and the negatives as far as the jackal and the giraffe communication. And then we would also show group B doing the same thing. And then from there, it would go into the next person.
Cool. Oh, it's a kitty cat.
Awesome. So then we start the role play. That was next?
I think so.
Okay. And so the first one, is it the nonviolent?
You want nonviolent communication next?
Yeah, sure.
Whoever.
Is that Jennifer?
Yes.
That's me. Quite frankly, I'm not sure if I'll just be reflecting back to people in a role play.
I think so.
In terms of helping them to maybe sort of rephrase or speak in terms of feelings and needs rather than demands or hearing demands, and so everybody can get what they want, and just by expressing feelings and needs.
Okay.
Sounds good.
And then
sorry, what?
No, just go ahead.
And then we were going talking papers next, right?
Yes.
Is that right? Okay, so I'll read with Devin because she unfortunately could not join us because of work today. She says, sorry I can't make the meeting tonight. However, I do have a plan for the talking papers part of our role play. Prior to our recording, I'll give you all the questions and have you give me answers. So I will already have them on paper. During the role play, I will ask the question and have you all write the answers. I will then already have them, so you'll pretend to pass them to me. We will go through and discuss and separate them further discuss the issues. Hope you're having a great week and an even better meeting tonight. Oh, she's so positive.
That's so nice. Cool. My question about that was going to be, how are we going to do the talking papers when we're not all actually in the same room? So that makes sense.
I think she said pretend to slide them in there. I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
Private IM. Pretend we're
Would I also be discussing that in the intro as well, the talking papers? I remember nonviolent communication. I forgot about the talking papers. So I would tie that in the introduction. Sorry.
Yes.
Cool.
I just have to, I mean, I know I'm redundant here. I'm missing a big picture here, sadly. Is there somebody doing a role play for nonviolent communication that I am reflecting back to? I'm not sure what we are doing other than introducing non-communication.
I think I know we discussed that, and I don't have it written down. I know that we picked our conflict to be group cohesion, and I think we're role playing that out.
Okay, so it's the same conflict for the nonviolent communication as well as for the talking papers. And who are the role players for the nonviolent communication?
Should we assign those?
We can. I don't think we assigned the people doing it.
Yeah.
So the thing I've written is the group cohesion, getting everyone to express themselves.
I can't hear you, Destiny. Your mute's on.
I thought I was one of the role players.
I think I had that in my head, but I didn't want to throw you on the bus.
Yeah, I think I was. Yeah.
But I don't have it written down for some reason.
We must have somebody else. I just don't know who it is.
I bet Devin has it. She's our organizer.
Maybe she's
Right.
okay. Maybe she's doing it, or maybe it's you, Jamie. No.
It might be.
Yeah, I don't know. But if you want to have it a little bit for it to be a little bit more scripted, Devin, sorry, keep saying
Jen.
Devin. Jen, based on what you want to cover, we can do that too.
Yeah.
Feel a little bit more prepared.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I probably could in real time reflect back. I just wasn't sure whoever was having this conflict if they both knew the conversation that they were having, or if or if they're going to have a conflict in real time. Does that make any sense to you?
Mm-hmm. Which would you prefer?
Since I'm not having the conflict, it doesn't matter as much to me. It would probably be more cohesive if people knew what their conflict was before. They didn't necessarily have to have it entirely scripted, but just to sort of be on the same page about.
Well, the conflict that we had discussed was that there was problems between the groups. Where is it written? I have it written. That some people feel like they're being forced to be in our trying to resolve the conflict within the different programs because the clients were suffering. Like there was no communication. There's communication breakdown, and that some are willing to be at the meeting, some want to be there, some don't want to be there, some feel like they have to be forced. But the goal is to be receptive to the clientele that we're serving, that there's a struggle for each different area to be seen, known, and heard.
Right. So I guess my question is that when people start talking, do they have an idea of what whether they can enunciate them or not, or articulate them or not, what their each person's wants and needs are, feelings and needs are? Are they aware going into that conversation what they're going in there with, hoping to achieve, other than this sort of broad, nebulous idea that they're not communicating and it's hurting clients? Like, how so?
Well, I can narrow that down. I can work on that with me being a participant and whoever's going to be on the other side of the table with me. I can do something.
Okay.
Devin, okay, yeah, I can do that. Kind of put some back and forth, and we can just kind of, yeah,
just to have some parameters sort of about, because I don't know about you, but I've done role plays before, and it's like people end up in there and they have no idea what they have like this idea, this very broad idea that they're having a problem with communication, but then when they go to talk about it, no one has any idea what to say, and it becomes awkward. And
I can set the scene. I'll do that.
Okay.
Thank you, Destiny. It's Destiny, right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. I'll make sure I'm pronouncing it right. Sorry.
Yeah.
And in Rosenberg language, I don't know if you could hear it, but I am anxious because I have a need for order in case.
Oh, it's okay.
And even if it's not apparent to everybody, that's just how I operate.
We are learning. That's what we're here. That's good. So who's next? Okay, so Victoria is in charge of the PowerPoint. Hi, we see you. Hi.
Oh, hey.
I'm stopped now, but it's pouring, so I'm just going to wait to go inside my house. I'm in charge of the PowerPoint. So in that, I'll just kind of lay out each part, like introduction, and then I'll write our the conflicts and the methods that we're using, and then I'll highlight our discussion, I guess. Do I put our discussion stuff in there, or? Yeah.
I think
Okay.
so.
Yeah. So once we have that stuff kind of laid out, I'm going to do like a Google PowerPoint so then I can share it with you all.
Cool. I know you could do that.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Cool.
Awesome.
And then have we covered everybody? Everybody but techniques, right?
Yes.
All right,
Yep.
and that's me. So I made a little list. I was trying to be all organized. So like this week, I was definitely trying to get our past stuff in, like the nonverbal and verbal communications. And my son's calling me, and you'll have to call your dad because I'm busy. I've told him that. I have. Okay. And then I had from this week the different like clinical listening and the one thing I really found this week that I thought was interesting was the proxemics, the how close we're sitting with each other. Obviously we're online, so that's difficult, but the body posture, the gestures, appearance, verbal and nonverbal communication, our facial expressions are really obviously going to be important because we're online. And then I have, there's another one. Hold on, I'm sorry.
You're good.
I was so excited. I was so organized, and now I've lost them all.
Best laid plans.
So yeah, exactly. Best laid plans, and then all my kids are walking in. The closed questions, the attending behaviors, verbal, nonverbal communication, but definitely the attending behaviors on our facial and non-intentional and intentional communication, verbally and non-verbally.
Awesome.
Did I forget anything? I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. And then I am covering diversity and oppression, and I haven't given it a whole lot more thought besides that I'm covering it and tossing about my mind. I'll be perfectly honest, but I'm going to dive into it and to make it really special.
Sounds good. I like it.
And same for me on group stage and what stage our group ends up in. But yeah.
Can't know that now anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Cool. I think we've got a good plan.
Yeah. I think so.
Is there anything else we had to cover today? It's still recording, so.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, good, because I'm hearing crying upstairs, so I know.
Oh no.
I'm roped into it any second now.
I think maybe if we need stuff for like PowerPoints and like the basic role plays for me to set that scene, like maybe if there's any deadlines that people need that we want to give each other, probably would be the next step.
I'm gonna try to mute it. I don't know how to do this, but I might. Am I muted now?
Just roll over your picture, and there on the top right-hand corner, it says mute.
Oh.
Oh, boy.
Oh, okay. Okay, hold on, Douglas. Okay, I'm sorry. I know you're upset about that.
So maybe we could just send a group email with maybe some deadline ideas for getting stuff.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah.
We only have what, like 2 weeks?
2 weeks, yeah. If that, yeah,
Easy.
not much time at all. So.
Anybody nervous about what this next class is going to be like?
I'm not even thinking that far ahead.
I know. I'm like, we're in week 5. How did that happen?
You know, my book for this class still hasn't gotten here.
What?
Yeah, I'm like, so I'm ordering like this week for my next class. So
That's for.
Good call.
I think I got mine from the library.
did you?
A book?
Isn't it the APA book?
APA, yeah, I got it from the library.
Luckily, my friend had one I could borrow, and
Oh, there you go.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
I use Google, so you know.
yeah. But the library is really, really good. Like the public library, and you can order it if they don't have it in your local library.
Yeah. Same.
Really?
Oh, that's good to know.
Yep.
That shows you how to use the library in undergrad.
cool. Well, is there anything else we need?
Nope.
I don't think so. I think we're good. I'm sorry. Now my son's throwing his toys at me.
We all have them. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine with us, whatever.
Not funny, Douglas. All right, Douglas. I'll be done in a minute. All right. I think I'm gonna have to go.
All right.
All right. I will do the turn-in stuff for this week.
Okay.
Oh, thank
Awesome.
you.
Thanks, Jamie.
All right.
Thank you, ladies.
All right,
Have a
bye.
good
Thanks,
day.
guys. Have a good night.
Thanks,
Have a
you
good
too.
night.
Oh, Victoria, I'm gonna call you.
Okay. Give me 5 seconds to run upstairs and then call me.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay. Bye.
All right, bye.